Good morning, and thanks for everybody coming out today to join our webinar on preparing for your Microsoft Dynamics 2013 upgrade. I'm your host, Dee Bowers, and before we begin, I just wanted to go ahead and go over some of our webinar software. See if I can change the slide over. We seem to be having a little bit of difficulty getting going here, so just bear with me. Okay, there we go. So again, before we go forward, I just wanted to go over our webinar pane and how to use the software. So on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll notice an orange button with an arrow on it. If you click that arrow, your webinar pane will toggle between the open and closed position. And then also on that pane, you should see a small chat window. Feel free to enter your questions in throughout the presentation, and we'll get to those at the end of the webinar during our Q&A session. Let's go on to audio settings. So you also have two audio settings to be aware of. Please make sure you've selected either the telephone option or the mic and speakers option. If you don't have the right one selected, you will hear an echo, so just double check those. And then just to let you guys know that within 48 hours, everybody should be receiving an email with a recorded presentation and the slide deck. So if you can't write down the URLs you're seeing fast enough, then don't worry about it. We'll get those out to you soon. And then right now I'd like to go ahead and introduce our presenters. We have Larry Betts, the Managing Director of CRM here at Armanino. He's been in the CRM world for many years, and I'm sure many of you have worked with him. We also have Rob Harrison, who's our Senior Consultant and a Certified Trainer. I'm sure he's worked with, again, many of you in your implementations. And so with that, I'd like to go ahead and turn it over to Rob Harrison.
Thank you, Dee. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us on the webinar today. We're going to be pretty succinct with our time today and get you in and out. The agenda for our time today, we're going to go over what is happening with this upgrade. What do you need to do to prepare for the CRM 2013? A quick review of new software that's supported and software which has been where the support has been discontinued, and we're going to take a really brief look at some of the changes and new features, but this is not a detailed look at all the new things that are available in 2013. The main purpose of this webinar is to help you guys get prepared for the upgrade. Then we'll also take a look at the subscription level changes that they've introduced to the software, and then leave you with a number of additional resources so that you can start researching and find more information about how to be prepared, what's changed and what's new, how's it going to affect your users, and then lastly there'll be a Q&A. And so as Dee mentioned, feel free to chat in your questions in that chat box in the GoToMeeting window, and then we'll take all those at the end of the presentation. All right, so let's talk about what's happening. So Microsoft Dynamics CRM 2011 is being upgraded to 2013. Now, those of you who've been a little geekier than the rest of us may have been watching this, following the progress of this, and it up until now has been given the code name of Orion, and now it's officially called CRM 2013. And rollouts for the upgrades are starting in November for online systems, and they're not trying to do them all on one day or even 1 week or 1 month. They're rolling them out over a series of 4 or 5 months, and they hope to be done with this process in 2014. And this is just for the online systems. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next. So when is your upgrade going to happen? Because Microsoft's taking care of this for you folks. For the online customers, that's who they're taking care of it for. You had a date assigned, and you may have seen, or I would hope you have seen, when you log into your CRM system now, there is a bar about 2/3 of the way up, and it's telling you when the date is scheduled for your upgrade to the Fall 13 release. And before that happens, though, there's some things that we're going to let you know about that need to be reviewed and checked to ensure that your system is prepared for that upgrade. Now, I want to point out, too, that this is the date, the initial date that they have scheduled for it, but you have the option of requesting alternate dates. You can do it one time, but to do that, request an alternate date, you can either click on that, the Learn More, on that pane inside of CRM, or those of you who are billing administrators should have received an email notification about this upgrade as well. And there'll be a link inside that email to request an alternate date. Now, it's important that this can only be requested by the billing administrator. So you don't have to worry about your general users going in there and saying, them making that decision for you. Once you decide what date is going to be targeted for you, go to that site and put in. I think they give you two date options to select. All right, let's go ahead and move forward. So, when's it going to happen for the on-premise customers? It will not be applied to your systems automatically. Obviously, Microsoft doesn't have access into your systems, so that's going to have to be done manually by your team or by your partner, that in most cases being Armanino. But those systems still need to be reviewed and prepared, and I'm going to talk about what is this review and preparation coming up in the next slide. But before we get there, if there's anybody out there who's still on version 4, you're not going to be able to upgrade directly from 4. It's going to have to get up to 2011 and then up to 2013. So there's not going to be any direct updates jumping over 2011. So let's take a look at what and why do things need to be reviewed. CRM uses a tool or a functionality called JavaScript. And when using JavaScript in CRM, it's possible that some of this code will stop working or cause an error when your system is upgraded. And Microsoft has been sending, almost hounding people with emails about how to check your JavaScript, how to check your code. And it's called the CRM 2013 Custom Code Validation Tool. And they've got pretty good instructions about how to run this test. And what it does is it identifies potential issues with the JavaScript in your system, but it doesn't do anything to tell you how to fix it. In most cases, the fixes to those things need to be taken care of by a developer. And so some of the reasons for these changes, some of it has to do with folks being on coming up from version 4. The JavaScript that was used in version 4 of CRM has changed. The requirements or the coding of it has changed over the years. Probably one of the things that's least geeky for us to explain is that when they first introduced CRM, it was only available to use browser-wise in Internet Explorer. And now it's been extended to be able to be used on Firefox and on Chrome and on Safari. And that has some effect on the JavaScript. It's not strictly just being written for that one IE type of experience. It needs to be more broad than that. So that's something that, in layman's terms, what changes to this JavaScript? And it's bigger than that, but that's something that was helpful for me to try to put my arms around and figure out what could possibly change in this script stuff that could affect how I'm using CRM. So let's go ahead and go off to the next one. Another change is going to be for our friends who started using CRM back in the days when the authentication was Windows Live IDs. And a rough benchmark of that would have been before June of 2012. If your system, your online system that is, was set up or created before June of 2012, you were probably using a Windows Live ID. So what needs to happen for our friends still using that authentication is your system needs to be migrated into the Office 365 platform. And your users are going to have new logins, and they're either going to be through the Windows Live, the Windows Office 365 portal. And in that case, I put up kind of an example of what the username might look like. But the key part of that is the .onmicrosoft.com. That's the tell. Whether if you're on the Microsoft Office 365 platform, or it can be integrated with Active Directory. Now, this is something that you've got to work directly with Microsoft on. If you need us to try to help answer some questions, we're happy to do that, but we have no access to their system to be able to do any kind of change or configuration. But that's got to happen before your system can be upgraded to the 2013. All right, so with this new release of CRM, we've got some new supported softwares, and we've also got some things that have been sunsetted. So for the 2013 supported softwares, for the folks who have on-premise installations, the Windows Server supported OSs are 2008 SP2, 2008 R2, and 2012. For your Windows clients, and this will be true of our online friends as well, Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8. For the on-prem folks, SQL Servers 2008, 2008 R2, 2012. And for folks using the Outlook client, which is the great majority of the folks that we help with CRM, your Outlook supported versions are going to be 2007, 2010, and 2013. And as I mentioned before, the browsers options have been expanded from IE only to IE 8 and above, Chrome, Firefox, and Safari. So what are the things that are no longer supported for using the CRM? For the on-premise, the Windows Server 2003, no longer supported. So if you're there and you want to upgrade to 2013, you're going to have to do something different. XP on the clients is no longer supported OS, and IE7 no longer in the supported family of browsers. So as I mentioned, this is not a deep dive into what's new, what are all the cool new features, but I did want to leave you with a couple of things which we think are really cool about this new system. I've got a couple of slides here just to give you a taste of what's out there. So what's changing? Well, are your users going to be able to notice any difference when the upgrade happens? And the answer is a definitive yes. They're going to know right away when they log into CRM that this application has been updated. The look and feel is much more streamlined. It's cleaner. And one of the things they're going to notice is that navigation pane that they're used to on the left is no longer there. Instead, they're using something called command bars. And what this has done is it's freed up a tremendous amount of real estate on the screen, and it's made traveling through the system quicker, faster, easier to get around in the system. Take a look at the next. The forms that folks are going to see, markedly different, a lot cleaner, a lot more white space. They tried to reduce a lot of the clutter. With these new forms, there's no more pop-ups. You're going to navigate CRM 2013 just like any other site on the web. It's with this new flat interface. I'm sure all of you can shake your heads. Yes, I've experienced this where you open up a record and then you open up an opportunity and you open up a lead, and then by the end of the day, you've got 15 IE windows still open. No more of that. it will take you to the information that you want to be seeing directly, so no more pop-ups. Right in the middle of this screen, you'll see what's called the social pane, and this gives users a heads up on the most recent record activities. Users are going to be able to easily see if a contact has an open opportunity, a new case, any other record updates right here on this social pane. And then another new feature is something called Autosave, where every 30 seconds your records save themselves, and then or saves are applied, and then as you close out of them, the data is saved. So no more save and close, that kind of nonsense. The system is taking care of it for you automatically. The next thing we're going to look at just briefly is this feature called Guided Process Flow UI. And what I've done is I've thrown a couple of screenshots into here. This is directly from the Opportunity screen, and not sure if it doesn't look like I'm able to use my pointer here, but on that first one, what it does is it allows you to define very specific stages and define the process that an opportunity goes through, and within each stage, defining what are the steps involved in that stage. And you can set it so that it's required that your users go through and accomplish all these steps before they move on to the next stage. So it takes care of a couple of things for you. It makes sure that everybody's using the same process. It also makes it much more intuitive for the users to find out, where did I leave off with this specific opportunity? It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it, and they know exactly where they're at, what are the things I still need to accomplish to move this another step toward closing the deal. All right. This next one you're going to be happy with, mobility. From the initial release, you're going to be able to use Windows 8 tablets and iPads, and it's going to be accessible straight away. Phone apps, Larry, you out there? I think we saw an email. I had indicated that phone apps are coming soon, but did we not see something yesterday that the iPhone app is already ready?
Yes, and a little note saying that they released the iPhone app before they released the Microsoft app. The Microsoft app actually is out, I think, today or tomorrow. But, yep, they're both ready to go. And I think the Android might be pushed off a little bit, but just a matter of weeks.
Okay. Yeah, so these are things, tools, features that are available at no additional cost, as the slide points out. It'll be make it much more powerful for you and accessible for your team in the field to get access to the data that they need when they're out on the road.
And Rob,
all right. Yes, sir.
One other point, that the tablet apps are separate from the phone app, so they do have two separate clients they're set up for.
Yes, good point. Thank you. Now here's something that has a dramatic change from how things have been since CRM was initially released. Yes, Larry?
Hey, Robbie, I can take this one if you'd like.
Oh yeah, go for it.
So Microsoft on the on-premise version has had kind of a stepped licensing, like you see here, the professional, basic, and essential. They're the new names. But they've had that in their model, I think, for probably about the last 6 years or so. And there have been a number of clients that have requested that for the on-premise. I think Microsoft's plan was that they went with a $44 a user a month kind of concept to keep the price just super low and everything was included in it. And they've had people now say, hey, we'd like to be able to split that off to different segments. So you can take a look at this. By the way, we will be sending out the slide deck. So although this might be an eye chart, what you're looking at now, you will receive it so you can kind of get some more specifics about it. And if you search on the web, there is some more detailed specifics about what can be done, but this is a good basic. So they're going to have the full license, kind of the full meal deal, everything at $65 a user a month, and that has been raised from the $44. But now they're offering that kind of middle of the road or reduced functionality that offers basic customer service. You can handle your contacts, your accounts, those kinds of things like that, basic reporting. Functionality, and that's the basic one. It does not do opportunities. That's probably the key thing in there. And then the essential, that's a very lightweight. It's really made just for people maybe in a in a mobile outside world kind of environment. It's going to be set up for just $15 a month. One other thing to note is that if you have more than 25 users on your system, you will be given a non-productive production instance of CRM. The advantage there is you can have one for development and playing with just to make sure everything is going to work as you migrate or change your system, and that's no charge for that. And then storage starts with 5 gigabytes, as it always has, but and that's for up to 25 users. But for each, I think it's each 5 users beyond that, you get an extra gigabyte of data, up to 50 gig total, and there's no charge for that either. Yeah. Anyway, if you have any questions, please post them in the window there. All right.
All right.
Next one. Yeah.
So we've got some access to additional resources other than just this webinar. You can visit us online for the latest downloads and news regarding CRM 2013 at the hyperlink here. It's http://Microsoft-Dynamics-CRM-2013.com. And if you and through that, you're going to find the options for the recommended reading down below, where there's a PDF on the preparation for 2013, a preview guide, what's in it, and then what's changed. And I think those are all 3 really, really valuable tools to get yourself access to, download, and peruse. They're going to do a good deal of preparation for you to get ready for this update. And there's also access to our tech team. If you would like us to help review your JavaScript, you can email us at upgradesupport@amllp.com. And what most folks, we've been dealing with this, helping some folks do this for a month or so. And in most cases, what we're having folks do is run that validation tool and then send that to the Upgrade Support email address, asking us to schedule a time to review that with you and look at what changes might be in order and let you know what kind of time we're looking at to make the adjustments. In some cases, there's nothing to adjust. In highly customized systems, there's extensive changes that need to be made. So I think we're ready to take some questions. So if you haven't put your question in yet, please do so in the question area of the GoToMeeting window. And I will ask Dee, do we have any questions yet?
We do. We have a few great questions that came in. So one of our questions was, I'm confused about how to migrate our logins from Windows Live to Office 365.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you guys can give a little bit more insight into what needs to be done there.
That is something that will have to be done, coordinated directly with Microsoft. And so I would, in a lot of cases, I've seen them be really proactive, Microsoft that is, in contacting folks to let them know that this is happening or this needs to happen. So if you're in that environment, the Windows Live, and you haven't been contacted, what I would suggest is opening up a ticket, opening up a support ticket with Microsoft, letting them know that you're still on the original Windows Live IDs and you've been told that you need to migrate over to Office 365. And they should assign a Microsoft technician to you to help walk you through that process. They've been really, really helpful.
Okay, so we have another one here is, how much is it for Armanino to review our code?
I don't know that we have a fixed fee on that. It's Larry, do we have any guidelines for that? If they send that text file to support the upgrade support?
Right. Mostly what we'll need to be checking is the JavaScript. So if you don't have anybody in your team that's comfortable with JavaScript, you can take the links that we have in this presentation and run those against your system. That will produce a file that you can then send in to us. We'll contact you and let you know. Sometimes it's really easy changes. We had one client that we were able to make a change in about 10 minutes for, and that was easy peasy. But others, it will be a number of hours to get those changes modified for you. And we can let you know at that point how long it would take for us to even evaluate it. Obviously there's some clients that have hundreds or thousands of lines of code in their systems. So we can't give kind of a firm number on it, but we'll be happy to, once you send us that file, we can get back to you with an estimate.
So the initial review, if they send us the file, there's not a fee to review the initial? I think that's what the question was.
Oh, okay.
The fee to review the code, not necessarily to fix it.
Yeah, I would say send it in, and we'll let you know if there's anything. Obviously, as I mentioned, if there's thousands of lines of code, that's going to take a while to review what needs to be changed.
Okay.
So please feel free to send us the file, and we'll let you know.
Okay, cool. Thanks. What else we got out there, Dee?
Well, we have another question, and we might need to take this offline, but the question is, somebody stating that they have 2 to 3 workflows that are necessary for their business, but they don't have need for many of the other professional level features, such as opportunities, and they'd like to know if workflows and processes exclusive to the professional level.
Hey guys, this is Robert Winstrand, Senior Consultant at Armino. I think I can take this one. Workflows and processes can only be defined by a user from the professional who has the professional level, but if they are active in your system, anybody who has a basic or essential login right will be able to trigger them. They will still fire for those individuals. They just won't be able to define them.
And Robert, would that be automatic triggering, not manual triggering, or is it both?
As far as we know right now, it's both. So that may change, but the way it's defined for Microsoft in sort of their matrix is it's the ability to define and configure is on the professional level, but the execution is available for both basic and essential. So I would.
Great.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Yeah.
So here's another technical question, it seems like. What will happen to custom buttons we've added to the ribbon toolbar?
So Microsoft has, and one of the things that helped me when I was first sort of transitioning from the CRM 2011 interface to the 2013 interface is if you think of the top navbar in terms of it being sort of what used to be the left navigation, is essentially the same as far as the buttons available, and Microsoft has extended that to include all the things that used to be on the left nav, and of course in the ribbon bars at the top of the screen are also included in those menus. So those will convert over.
Okay, and then we have another question here, which asks, will we have access to things like quoting on iPads now?
Yeah, yes.
The mobile capabilities.
So, Larry, I don't know if you have, again, the iPad iPhone client just came out, so we haven't had a whole heap amount of time to play around with it yet, but you can access the quotes, opportunities, etc., from an iPad through a browser.
Right. So I would say in theory now, yes, it should be functional. In practice, we still have to do the testing now.
Yeah, we've been mentioning this, that there are apps being provided for the tablets and for the mobile devices, the phones, but as Larry just said, you can access it from any browser. One of the cool things about that is it now has this liquid UI, so it automatically adjusts the display to the device that you're on. So even if you were on your iPhone and you accessed it through the Safari browser, not through the app, it's going to reconfigure, repaint that picture, the display, so it's optimized for that screen size. So you don't even need the app to get access to the data. And that would give you access to everything in the system. Sorry, Dee, go for it.
No, it's okay. We had one more question, too, on the levels, the service levels. So can our organization have one professional user and several others of another level?
You bet.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Great questions out there. So.
Yeah, so to that end, there's going to be, for the folks online, they're going to be reaching out to you if they haven't already, asking how do you want to distribute? Because now there's not going to be just one size fits all. You're going to have to tell them, you know, right now you've got 50 users. It's all the same subscription level, right? So they're going to ask you, how many professional do you want? How many basic do you want? Is there any essentials? And you're going to have to come up with that combination that totals your 50 users. And in a lot of cases, people are saving money because of this change.
So we had another question come in. Does C plugin code also need to be reviewed?
So it's a good question. Again, this is Robert Winstrand. So C# plugin code that was developed for the CRM 2011 platform is fully compatible. However, if it was older code that was developed for the 4.0 platform and is still running on your environment, it will not be compatible. And of course, anything older than that. So if you have anything left over.
Okay, I think that's what we have for our questions for right now. So thank you guys for submitting those. If there's any other questions that we didn't get to or that you have, please feel free to send those over, and we will get back to you offline. In the meantime, please keep a lookout for the email that we're going to send out with the slide deck and also this recorded presentation. And other than that, thank you so much for spending time with us today. Thank you, Larry and Rob and Robert, for answering those questions. And please, there's a survey after the webinar. Please take a minute and let us know how we're doing. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.